Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Zach. If you're new here, I am a corporate employee turned full-time freelancer where I'm charging clients $150 an hour for this very skill that we're gonna learn. Today, we're gonna be starting a new series called VBA in 5 minutes, where we're gonna take one video at a time, less than or equal to 5 minutes. We're gonna try to learn something valuable, something useful in the world of VBA, and hopefully you guys can become masters too, all right? So let's take a look at our data set here. Pretty simple. Columns A through E and column F. We have 31 rows. Basic requirement today is we're gonna multiply column D by column E to get the total amount. Now, the specific thing we're gonna be working on today is getting a dynamic last row for our for loop range, okay? So the idea is, okay, today we have 31 rows, but tomorrow we could have 50, the next day we could have 100. Let's write code so that our code works with 31 rows, 50 rows, and even 100 rows, and it doesn't matter how many rows we have in our data set, all right? So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna right click on our sheet down here, go to view code, and let's go ahead and set up our module. We'll call it sub loop here. All right, so here's the dynamic last row piece. We're gonna create a variable, last row equals active sheet dot range, dot cells, active sheet dot rows dot count. We're gonna be looking at column A, okay, to get our last row. We're gonna be using this Excel up.row function to get the last row in our data set. So if we step through this code real quick, we hover over our last row, you see we get 31. So if we come over here, and let's just copy this row down here and look at our code again, step again, now we get 32. So our last row variable now will work no matter how many rows of data we have, all right? So let's set up our for loop. For x equals 2 to last row, next x. Again, our requirements are, we're just going to multiply column D by E and write that value into column F, all right? So we need to say with active sheet, because that's the sheet we're working with. We're gonna say end with. Now what are we gonna do? We're gonna say range F and X dot value equals dot range column D times dot range column E dot value, all right? So we're basically looping through from row 2 down to our last row with our active sheet, the one that we're currently looking at. We're going to write in column F the value of D multiplied by column E, all right? So this, if you're unfamiliar, this and X is basically concatenating the value of our for loop to our range here. So on our first iteration, you know, X will be 2, X then will be 3, X will then be 4. So it knows what row we're looking at, all right? Let's go ahead and put a message box down here that says you're all done. And let's go ahead and execute this and bam, it says done. Let's go back to our data set and there we go. So 1 times 13 is 13, 2 times 15 is 30, perfect, all right? Went all the way down to the bottom of our data set here. Now, if we copy this data set and we paste it, and then let's go ahead and get rid of our total quantity amount here, clear that. So now we have 63 rows. So this code should still work because we're using this last row variable here. So we'll hit run, it says done, go back to our data set, and there we go. The loop executed all the way down to the very bottom of our data set. And that's it. First VBA in 5 minutes lesson is complete. Let me know what you guys think. If there's anything specific you guys want to learn, comment down below, and I'll be sure to address that as soon as possible. Thank you guys. See you in the next one. Peace.